Whoa. Ah, I definitely want to issue an apology there. I had to attend to a call, and unfortunately, I couldn't even say goodbye to you guys. I couldn't even tell you how long I was going to be gone for. I just couldn't because I had to immediately pick up the call. As a spiritual practitioner, I'm always on call duty, if you should put it that way. I'm always available to my clients to call me so that we can address whatever issues that they need me to address. And I am not able to put myself in not available mode. I always have to um, be, I should have actually changed the, I should have changed the the title of this video. I should have changed it. But I should have called it part two so that, those that need to come in can see that this is actually a part two of the previous recording or the live that I was doing, because now you don't see, now you don't know. And you're probably thinking this is the previous live where I probably left you hanging, and I really do apologize. I do apologize. Yeah, so there's that problem of unprofessionalism that can come through, and I definitely do apologize. All right, so welcome. I was just saying now that I sincerely apologize for having had left you without saying goodbye. I had to attend to a call. I'm a spiritual practitioner. I'm always on call duty. Whenever it is that clients call me, I have to attend to their calls. Whenever it is that clients call me, I have to attend to their calls. And unfortunately, that might mean that, and sometimes it takes, a long time before a client calls. I could literally it could be 2 hours, 3 hours before a client calls, or in between, the various calls between myself and clients. But yeah, for some unfortunate reason, it just happened that that call took place when I was busy doing my recording, or my live here. So I definitely do apologize for that. I know it will come across as if I am, um, unprofessional. It will come across as if, I don't care about you, but I really do care. I really do want to participate in this conversation. I want to finish this message that I am sharing with you. It is just unfortunately, I do have clients from time to time that I have to attend to. So I'm going to pray that there's no interruption for this particular live now. So let's go back to where we were before we got cut. I hope you are, coming back for this second round of this live. And I hope you've already seen the previous live, because I'm not going to go back per se. I might summarize one or two things, but I'm not really going to go back to that previous live. I want to continue because I've got a few things to share about this problem of illegal immigration, or just general immigration in South Africa. It's a worldwide problem, and every other country is handling their issues with regards to immigration. Even here in Africa, all the countries that are broken here in Africa, they are handling their immigration issues very well. They are struggling with everything else. For example, they are struggling to provide for their own citizens. But when it comes to making sure that immigration is handled well, that they don't fall short where there is consent. You understand? They know very well precisely what the law is with regards to that. So the only country in the world, literally, that is not having its affairs in order where immigration is concerned is South Africa. So you won't find, terrorists in any other part of the world per se, especially terrorists who are illegal foreigners. You won't find them anywhere else except in South Africa. You understand that, which is quite shameful, which is quite sad, right? It speaks to the level of corruption with regards to our leadership. We really don't have a leadership here in South Africa. We are a leaderless nation. We are an orphaned nation. All right. We suffered at the hands of white people during apartheid. But yeah, as I was saying before we got cut previously, Jacinta I forgot her other surname, but her other surname is Zuma because she's got a double barrel surname. I don't know if she's related to Zuma or what, but I think she's the leader of March and March. And March and March is this activist that is fighting against this problem of, illegal foreign nationals and all of that. So, one of the things that she was saying is that, um, we as South Africans, we are quite lax with all of these things, right? We are very lax about our approach to all of this, whereas other countries are not. And for some funny reason, I literally just lost my train of thought there with regards to what I was about to say about her. So when it comes back, I'll definitely go back to it. But the point is that, yeah, we are definitely leaderless. We are an orphaned nation. We've got nothing. We don't have anything. We are literally left out to fend for ourselves. So I'm sounding the alarm. I'm literally sounding the alarm as a concerned citizen myself to say, South Africa, let's do something about it, and let's do it urgently. And I can see even here within South Africa as well, there are nefarious forces within the South African citizenship itself. There are nefarious forces that are taking advantage of certain things that have come to light, certain revelations that have come to the public's attention. Nefarious forces are taking advantage of that to further cause chaos and to destabilize the country. And I'm not sure if that's actually going to be an ideal solution to this problem. But definitely something needs to be done, and it needs to be done urgently, because a lot of things that people are saying we are going to end up going there. The way I see it, we are not going to end up going anywhere. We are already there. You understand? We are not about to enter into a crisis mode. We are already in a crisis mode. Understand this, dear South African. Every mall that you go to right now in South Africa, tell me, how many South African-owned stores do you see there? How many of them do you see there? Apart from the big brands, your ShopRite, Pick n Pay, Ackermans, and these big furniture stores and everything. Apart from those, how many South African-owned stores do you see there? I'm talking about these stores these nameless stores, these stores with funny names and everything. You can see this is a store that is owned by some private person somewhere, somehow. How many of them do you know that belong to South Africans? And how many of them do you know that belong to foreign nationals? We are not about to enter into a crisis mode. We are already in a crisis mode. People are putting out clips, on TikTok and everything, as I was saying before we got cut previously in the previous video. I was watching a video, various clips, TikTok clips, I believe, by this channel here on YouTube, Ngozi Wasemzansi. And this lady is saying, do you understand that, when you go to a private hospital, to a public hospital at the moment, as a South African, especially going to give birth, that majority of the time you are outnumbered by other people that are from other countries. You feel like a foreign national yourself. You feel like you're in a foreign country, but you are in your own home country. You will find other people from other places who are speaking their own languages, doing their own thing there, and you are literally alone. So we are not about to reach a crisis point. We are already at a point of crisis. This is something that needs to be very, very clear. How many places do you know here in South Africa that are no-go areas, no-go zones for South Africans? And people will say, no, who said it's no-go zones and all of that? But have you seen places where foreign nationals have taken over? And this is not me trying to be horrible or trying to be xenophobic or trying to be spiteful or mean or anything, but have you seen those places where foreign nationals have taken over? Are those the kind of places that are safe enough for an ordinary South African to just be busy gallivanting there? Absolutely not. We are not about to reach a crisis. We are already at a crisis point. And if we don't wake up to see that and do something about it, we are in trouble. We are in serious, serious trouble. Something needs to be done, and it needs to be done urgently. I don't have anything against anyone. South Africans are the least xenophobic people that I know. And how do you know that South Africans are the least xenophobic people that are out here in the world? How long have we had people here in South Africa doing all these horrible things to South Africans? Over 30 years. And only now are South Africans getting to a point of heartfall. But here's the question. Would a South Africa be able to go and do the very same things that have been done to South Africa here by other people from other countries? Would South Africans be able to do those things in those countries and get away with it? How protective are other people out there, particularly Africans? How protective are they of their own countries in comparison to South Africans? And for them, when they protect their own countries, it's okay. They are following the laws and everything. But when South Africa stands up for its own country, we are being xenophobic. That's the narcissism that I'm talking about here. So we have narcissism that we are dealing with when it comes to the leadership of our country, because they're just lining up their own pockets. They don't care about the people. It's almost as if they feel even better the more the people suffer. Because how on earth is it that you allow people, like literally law enforcement is being instructed to defend for illegal foreign nationals against the citizens of the country? Meanwhile, the citizens of the country, they're not even attacking foreign nationals. Do you understand how nice South Africans are? Do you understand how kind South Africans are? South Africa, do you know that in other parts of Africa, in other countries here in Africa, the level of beatings and probably killings that would take place to people who would be doing the very same thing that people are doing here in Africa, in South Africa? Do you understand that a lot of things that people are doing here in South Africa, and you as a South Africans would never live to tell of that story if you were to do those things in those countries? South Africans are too nice. They are very nice. That's why we are being disrespected the way that we are being disrespected. So, and as a result of having, that we've got that much empathy, and I know very well, because as a spiritual practitioner, I deal with a lot of people. And I can tell you, I deal with a lot of South Africans. South Africans are nice people. South Africans are empaths. Do you understand? When you talk about Ubuntu, I don't know any other country in South Africa, any other country in Africa that espouses Ubuntu like South Africa. South Africa knows Ubuntu and they live Ubuntu. We've got serious narcissists in South Africa here, but even the narcissists of South Africa, they are nice compared to narcissists of other parts of the world, especially other parts of Africa, unfortunately, if I have to be that blunt. South Africans are nice. They are kind. South Africans are amazing. South Africans are angels. You don't understand. And our angelic nature, our kind nature, our empathic nature has put us in this problem that we are in now. Because empathy without boundaries is a danger, is a disaster waiting to happen, which is what we have been doing all this time. As the nation, not being aware that our leaders are predators, we have been exercising our boundless kindness towards people, calling them our brothers and sisters, whilst they are destroying us and destroying our country. Not all of them, of course. It's unfortunate that the innocent ones are getting, the brunt of all these horrible things that are being done by other people. But we have to call a spade a spade. We have to call it what it is. Our kindness has been taken advantage of. You cannot exercise empathy without boundaries. And this is what our country has been subject to. Our leaders saw that we are kind, we are sweet, we are nice, we are wonderful, we are welcoming, we are warm, we are generous. No one likes to share like a South African. And they said, let's call them all Ubuntu, everyone come, everyone come. Come one, come all. Come for the plunder. Now we've got people that own things. People that come from, we don't even know where they come from, but they own everything, everywhere you go. There's something that is owned by some foreign national. You as a South African, you are like the foreign national yourself in your own country. And I am, like, I've had enough of privileged South Africans that are defending things that are indefensible. It's like, what on earth are you doing? So anyway, let me just share some of the things that I wanted to share with regards to this problem of, um, immigration, because it has gotten to a point now where it's no longer about, it's foreign, it's just, foreign nationals, and then there's also illegal foreign nationals. No, it's all of them. Okay, it's all of them, unfortunately. It's a matter of there are good ones and there are bad ones, but unfortunately, where we are right now, we are not in a position anymore to accommodate any foreign national. We've never been in that position to begin with. We were just too nice and we just didn't know it. We didn't know what exactly is it that we were dealing with. Because let's face it, when it comes to this thing of, immigration and people coming from wherever it is that they're coming from, especially those that are undocumented, when they come together with those that are even documented, how are you going to be able to know for sure that together they are not, colluding for some criminal activities? How are you going to know? There are certain countries that are very notorious for illegal activities. So how are you going to know that others are coming in the right way just so that they can create a pathway for those that are not here the right way? They are shielding those that are not here to do the right thing. How are we going to know? How are we going to, have any control over that? We've got people from other countries that are holding key positions within society, making key decisions. I don't know, maybe we need to find out who exactly is it that is in charge of the SAHRC, because, it's like the South African Human Rights Council doesn't seem to be representing South Africans. So we need to see what's going on there. We need to find out what's going on, because something is not right there. It's just not make sure. So let's just mention a few things here with regards to this problem. Okay, of course, the issue that we are dealing with as a country is more than just the issue of illegal foreigners or just general foreigners. It's more than just that. It's more than just an immigration issue. It's a corruption issue with regards to our leadership. Of course, if we had a proper leadership, all of these things that are happening now wouldn't be happening. That's true. But we're not going to say, no, just leave the people alone, leave, the foreign nationals alone, just focus on your leaders, sort your leaders out. No, these people need to go home first. And then we can deal with our own issues. How are we going to deal with our own issues if we are having a pestilence, an infestation in the house? We need to, get rid of the infestation first, or simultaneously as we are busy resolving the other issues. But we cannot be taking care, we cannot be handling the kind of overwhelm that we are dealing with right now. So as I had previously mentioned there, so the first thing that we are dealing with here when it comes to this problem of immigration, crime, many crime syndicates. And I was also saying that we've got this thing whereby they're saying, no, you people don't know how to run businesses. You can't do businesses. That's why you are jealous of foreigners' businesses. No. Do you know that people get killed if they try to do their own businesses? People get sabotaged if they try to do their own businesses by these other people. And do you know that we in South Africa, which is one of the problems that we are dealing with, which I was busy addressing before we got cut in the previous live, we as South Africans, we've got a problem internally ourselves, whereby we haven't learned how to be a united people that supports and work together with regards to helping each other and ensuring that we succeed business-wise. White people do that with each other. That's why they are able. White people know how to uplift themselves as a race, as a group. You understand? They are always, everything that they do with regards, like as a collective. They don't just operate as single individuals. We as Black South Africans, we haven't mastered that art yet. This is something that we still needed to learn. We're still recovering and reeling from apartheid. We never got a chance to get to that point where we develop these skills within ourselves as a nation, to be able to build ourselves and each other, to think as a collective. We have never gotten to that point. We've always been in survival mode. But all these other groups, they have the same thing as well. The same thing, the same way that white people know how to group themselves and they know how to uplift each other and how to uplift the white race and make sure that, economically things are going well. They always have this kind of a system whereby they know how to supply each other things. They know how to make sure that they succeed as a collective. These other groups as well of Africans and Middle Eastern people and Asians and other people from other parts of the world, they typically operate in that way. That's why even when they come here, they succeed. You understand? They make sure that whatever it is that they do it as a group. And they make sure that they support each other's, businesses, systems, and everything. They are organized. They are connected. We don't have that as South Africans. This is one of the things that we need to be addressing. These people are way too united and this is a problem for us. Do you understand that everyone else is united except us as South Africans, and we are the ones that are being invaded? America has Donald Trump to fight for it. Where do you think all those people that are being kicked out of America are going to? Because many of them are criminals. Let's face it. Let's be honest. This is the narcissism of the black race and the African nationality, or the African race. This is the narcissism of the African people. African people, when they occupy positions of leadership, they destroy their own people. That's why we are having the crisis that we are having now in South Africa here. We are having to take care of the rest of Africa because African leaders are not willing to take care of their own people. They're not willing to empower their own people. Their own people have to turn into criminals to survive. And another form of narcissism with this African race of ours is that we are having a situation whereby Africans, for whatever reason, whenever it is that they are faced with problems, the first option for Africans is to do crime. I don't get it. I don't understand. I honestly do not understand how that you could come to a country as, like literally replete with opportunities as South Africa, but you choose to do crime. The same thing happened in America, and they called Trump all sorts of names. And, if we as Africans are not willing to face these problems with regards to ourselves, we're not going anywhere. Nothing is going to happen. The problem with leadership in our country here is a reflection, and it's not just in our country, it's in Africa in general. The problem with leadership is a reflection of the failed society that the African race is. Because we have failed leadership in the African race, men. There are very few men in the African race that are willing to stand up and fight for Africans. Fight the good fight, the true fight for Africans. There are very few men who are willing to do that. Whilst other races are fighting, while men of other races are fighting to make sure that their own women and children are striving and thriving and doing amazingly in the world, African men are gathering together, uniting, coalescing to literally oppress and harm their own women and children. Of course, not all of them, but unfortunately, it's too vast a number of them that are engaging in these things. So we are having a problem of the narcissism of leadership. We are having a problem of the narcissism of the African race. Right now in 2025, you cannot tell me about white people anymore. It's been over 30 years in South Africa that we have not been led by a white person. And I don't care, you can come back and say, no, but behind the scenes, white people are doing this. Who is the black man that is busy taking bribes and corruption from white people? Who is the black man that is willing to sell his own race out? It's been over 30 years here in South Africa, but in other parts of Africa, it's been way too long since people have been freed from other, from literal white oppression. But to this day, people are still complaining about white people. It's white people that we are suffering. It's because of white people that we are suffering. And somehow you believe that the way that you are conducting yourself right now is the solution. You are convinced that the way that you are approaching, by destroying your own race, destroying your own continent, you are convinced that that's the solution. That's the best approach to deal with this whole thing that you call white oppression. You want to complain about how white people are oppressing you, but you want to say nothing about how that you as a black man are oppressing your fellow black people. The weak and vulnerable among you. Your women have to come all the way from top Africa. You have impregnated them, and you literally force them to come all the way from top Africa here to South Africa so that they can get free services. You are going to impregnate a woman, and you know very well that you are not able to take care of that child. You know very well that you don't have the resources to take care of those children. But you're going to make sure that you get the person pregnant, and then they have to come here and become a burden in South Africa. I have a qualm with black men. I have a qualm with African men. Narcissism within the African men. You want to cry foul. You want to act like you are a victim. It's not going to hold water anymore. Right now, you as much as you want to play victim, and I know it's not every black man. So you know yourself, if you are not in this group that I'm talking about, you know you're not in the group. And you know very well the group that I'm talking about. You can't be crying about how that you are a victim of the white man, how that you are being oppressed by the white men. We don't want to hear that anymore. We want to know what you as a black man have been doing to uplift your own community. That's what you are, a leader, isn't it? You want to be recognized as a leader. No one knows how much of a leader they are than a black man. No one knows how entitled they are to respect and authority and dignity. How long is it that the black women have been fighting for the black man, for the dignity, for the authority, for the leadership of the black man? What has the black man done to end that? Look at what is happening to the black race. Look at what is happening to the African race. One small itty bitty corner of a country, South Africa, we have to take care of the rest of Africa. What kind of madness is that? So we have poor governance, we have leadership across the board. And this thing is a reflection, is a manifestation of the narcissism that is the virus that has plagued Africans. Entitled to things that you have not earned. Entitlement to leadership, entitlement to dignity, authority, and everything. You have not earned it. And we're having entitlement on the part of foreigners in our country here. The very same level of entitlement that they will not exercise in their own countries. They know how to exercise them here because everyone suddenly knows about their rights, their freedoms, and everything as soon as they come to South Africa. They don't know about any of those things in their own countries. Because if they had the very same rights and privileges in their own countries, they would certainly stay there. But no, they have to come here because this is where you get to exercise your rights. You know, free for all, plunder, come one, come all. South Africa is, for everyone, so says the Constitution. Constitution that was designed for South Africans, by South Africans. Some clever people, some very, very smart, educated fools have decided somehow that they're going to interpret our constitution to accommodate the rest of the world. What kind of madness is that? So I was talking about the fact that we are having, a serious problem of crime because we are a borderless country, of course. And I can tell you now, South Africans can engage in criminal activities. South Africa itself does have a little bit of an issue of crime. But if you look at the situation, thoroughly, you will see that the problem of crime has to do with illegal immigration. It has to do with this immigration crisis, because we've got many, many powerful, rich syndicates of criminals here in our country. You won't know about them because they're not on record. And let's face it, no one is trying to arrest them. No one is trying to, hold them to account in any way. Do you understand how many people are hiding here in South Africa that should not be here, that are probably in some kind of wanted list? Do you understand? And there's no way of us ever going to be able to know anything to that effect because they're not on record. We've got no borders. When we're talking about crime, there's a whole lot of other complex criminal activities that we cannot even be able to begin to touch. But, let's just talk about your typical, everyday type of criminal activities: housebreakings, human trafficking, factual assaults. We can just replace the F with an S. We've got drugs, we've got spaza shop monopolies. What I was trying to say earlier on is that we are having this problem where we've got this situation where people are saying, no, South Africans are not willing to do things and other people are willing to do. But I'm telling you, there is a sabotage as well on the part of other people from other parts of the world that are actively making sure that South Africans are not able to take advantage of the opportunities that are available to them. There are stories that have been circulated even here where people have been caught out, foreign nationals who are not even supposed to, they are not allowed legally to be running certain businesses, but they'll be running businesses. And you as a local, if you try to open the very same business in the same vicinity, people are getting shot, people are getting chased, people are literally being threatened by people who do not belong to this country. So you are still saying, oh no, we're still getting there. We are about to enter into a crisis. No. We are not about to enter. We are already in a crisis mode. When you look at videos and you see foreign groups, do you understand? Do you understand that we are having thousands, not even just hundreds of thousands of groups of people from a particular country grouped together, hanging together, literally fighting against police officers, defending themselves against police officers in your country, in South Africa? We are not going there where there is a crisis mode. We are already there. We are in a crisis mode. If your own police officers are being manhandled by people from other parts of the world, what kind of hope do we have? They are literally being manhandled by people who are resisting arrest. Criminals who are here illegally. They've committed. Yeah, we laugh about this thing because what else can we do? What else can we do? So let me see how many points do I have to share here, and then I'll be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 points. I want to be as quick as possible, and then I'll be done. So we've spoken about the crime, which is 11. Then we've spoken about poor governance, which is 12. So yes, we've covered, governance. We know we don't have leaders. We don't have anyone. We are on our own. It doesn't matter what they say, but let's face it, we don't have leaders. And my concern is that there are nefarious forces that are trying to take advantage of this fragile state, this fragile position that we are in now, to push some other agenda where the country can be even more lawless, things can be even more chaotic, so that people can, further plunder whatever it is that they can get. So I am pleading with you to say, we need to do something, we need to do it urgently, but we also need to be very careful exactly how it is that we are moving where this thing is concerned. Okay, we need to be very, very careful, because at this point in time, it's very, very easy to find ourselves in a position that we may never ever be able to recover from. As it is, we have gone too far right now, but we can still turn things around depending on how we act where this situation is concerned. So let's look at, I'm going to start counting now, 1 to 10. All right. So number 1, foreigners fight vehemently for their rights on foreign land, on foreign land, isn't it? As I previously mentioned, they know very much how privileged they are supposed to be, how much of rights they're supposed to have. They know all these things, but I promise you, they will not do the same thing in their own countries. We all know it. We all know it. They claim that South Africa belongs to all. We are all Africans, but that's not the case. You won't feel that way when you go to their countries. You will know you are a foreigner because from the minute you get there, you are not being treated like, my brother, my sister. You are being treated like a foreign national who is visiting there, and you need to have a medical certificate over and above a whole lot of other things. They don't and often can't express their rights and freedoms in their own countries. They have very little rights there, isn't it? That's why they are here, because here it's free for all. They demand free things, health, education, and a whole lot of things. They demand these things. And I know they'll be, yeah, anyway, I'm going to address that. I almost said something, but I'm going to say it, I think, in some of the coming points. They refuse to understand that their presence and conduct has negatively impacted the country, isn't it? So why is it that whenever it is that we address this issue of foreign nationals here in our country and how it has negatively impacted us, instead of people being honest and say, yeah, we can see. I mean, to be honest, if foreign nationals really cared about us as South Africans, they would really be joining us in this battle. Eh? Like literally a whole lot of foreign nationals, a huge group of foreign nationals would be saying, you know what, South Africans, and I've seen some people here, on YouTube, some foreign nationals on YouTube here saying, we stand with you, South Africans. But honestly, it's not enough because you've got one or two or three people. But we need huge groups of real foreigners who've really benefited from being in this country, to be honest with us and with their fellow brothers and sisters, to say, but guys, don't do that. We stand with you, South Africans. We stand with you. What is happening here in South Africa is not right, and it's not fair. People have been here for many years, for more than 20 years. They've enjoyed every good thing that can be enjoyed with regards to what this country has to offer. But how much thanks are we getting as South Africans for that? How much gratitude are we getting for that? Instead, we are getting a whole lot of other things. We are getting so much hatred from people that we have shared the little that we don't even really have with them. But for some funny reason, they don't think that we deserve what we have. They don't think that, whatever it is that we have done for them actually, they don't think we've done anything for them. All right? Which is quite unfortunate. 2, hijacking of buildings. Hijacking of the country. We are not going there. We are already there. Okay. There are a whole lot of properties that have been taken over by people that are not South Africans. A whole lot of properties that have been taken over. Okay. We as South Africans, we might find ourselves in squatter camps and in very, very, impoverished type of situations where we are living. But a whole lot of foreign nationals are living in suburbs. They are living in, cities. They've taken over. People are paying rent to them in their own buildings, hijacked buildings. They're not paying electricity because they have done illegal connections. So, but we as South Africans, we are having to pay for electricity. And if they, find out that you haven't paid your electricity, or, they come and shut things down. If you try and do those illegal connections, very quickly, they come and sort you out. Not so with illegal immigrants. Not so with foreigners. The country has been hijacked. It's not about to get hijacked. It has been hijacked. Only just recently, I think this was Kenny Kunene, who had discovered that one of the schools in Johannesburg was actually about to change the curriculum so that it can include languages from other parts of the country, other parts of the continent. Basically, because majority of the students in that school, it's a South African school, but majority of the students in that school are actually non-South Africans. I think they were probably Zimbabwean. So they wanted to change the curriculum so that they can have, I think, a Shona language or something along those lines. But we've got 11 national languages here in South Africa. 11. 11. Do you understand? 11. Not 2, not 3. 11. And then we had to take on some other language from another part of, Africa. We are not getting seized. We have already been seized. We are just in that position where we can still turn things around, but we are in a crisis mode. Okay, so some of you want me to say hi. Okay, I'm saying hi. Hi, Botlali. How is condition now? Someone is asking how is condition now. How is condition now? Condition is bad. Condition is really bad. It's very bad. But we can still turn things around. We are still there. We still have an opportunity to turn things around. But if we allow things to continue as they are, yeah, we might not be able to turn things around. South Africa will end up becoming, one of the most horrendous tragedies in Africa. This country is fertile with so many opportunities. So many, there's so much that can come out of this country. So much beauty, so much progress, so much prosperity. But it's not going to happen as long as, our bucket is leaking the way that it's leaking right now. We have no boundaries, no boundaries. Our energy is seeping through. Anything that we try to build, any one step that we try to make, take forward, we are taking 10 steps backwards. So the issue is not just foreigners. The issue is the leadership as well. But we cannot, decide to say, no, we're just going to focus on this and we're going to ignore the other one. Both these issues need to be tackled at the same time because they are the reason we are in a crisis mode right now. We cannot handle the rest of Africa and the world. We are a small country. We are still needing to recover for ourselves. We are still needing to take care of our own problems here. We are still needing to build ourselves up. All the wonderful things that we had, particularly from an economic perspective, for the past 30 years, that was as a result of the systems that were set up during the apartheid era. So we were supposed to enjoy our inheritance as children of people that went through apartheid. Opportunities to grow, to develop ourselves, to grow as a nation, as a Black race in South Africa. We never got that chance because between our leadership and people coming from other parts of the world, and I'm not saying we are playing the victim card here, but I'm pointing out facts about what has transpired in our country. Do you understand that in a country that is rife with crime, such as South Africa, how difficult it is to literally just exist? Do you understand that every day when you wake up in South Africa, this is what Jacinta was also saying as well. When you wake up in the morning, every day you are grateful that you are still alive. Do you understand we have never had a chance to recover from apartheid? And we are not going to get a chance. We are never going to go there because 30 years has passed. How long are we going to be singing the song of oppression? How long are we going to continue doing that until the whole thing literally is just done and dusted? Three, the problem of unemployment. South Africans are lazy. This is what foreign nationals say. We are lazy. We are not willing to do things that they are willing to do. That's why they are, getting the jobs and we are not. But that's not true. That's not true. The story of a foreign national and the story of a South African will never ever be the same, especially here in South Africa. Most foreign nationals don't like us as South Africans. That's the truth. That's the reality of the situation. They don't like us. They hate us. And many of them even say it. And once again, many of you have seen the videos as well circulating in social media where they make it very clear how they feel about us. They don't like us. They hate us. They despise us. They think we are stupid. They think, I don't know, but one thing that's for sure, they do not like us. Majority of them. Not all of them, majority of them. They don't think that we deserve all of these things that we have. And yeah, they think we are lazy. They think our approach is lazy. We are not like them. We don't operate like them. We don't think like them. We are not like them. We are not. And this is one of the saddest realities and, discoveries that we've had to come to. That we may call each other my brother, my sister, and everything, but we are not the same. We don't think the same. Our cultures are not the same. We are not the same. We share the same skin color to a certain extent, but we are so different in so many ways. It's not even funny. Like I said, South Africans are very nice. South Africans are very empathic. People from other countries in Africa, they're not that nice. I don't know if you've noticed that. Majority of them. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is an African person here. This is a black person here that is talking about Africans. Africa has a problem of narcissism. Africans in general have a problem of narcissism, victim mentality, entitlement, aggression, violence, hostility, just evil, mean-spiritedness, spiteful, vengefulness, self-destructive. Africans have that problem. But you come here in South Africa, you'll find that the narcissism among South Africans are nice. The narcissists in South Africa are very nice. Narcissists in South Africa are like angels compared to the narcissists up top in Africa. African people are not nice. They are not. And you can see how African people are not nice by how the leaders of African countries treat their own people. That's enough for you to see what is it that you are dealing with when it comes to black people, the black race. We always want to put the blame on other races. At no point are Africans willing to take responsibility for their own conduct and their own narcissism. I'm not saying other races are not narcissistic, but today we are talking about Africans. What kind of a leader are you that you put your people, your very own people, in such a horrible, horrendous position that they have to go to other countries and fight other people for their own resources to survive? Whilst you have an entourage of 10 to 15 cars. You live in a mansion. Your children are going to school overseas and you've got properties and assets and everything all over the world. But your people are suffering. Africans are not nice people. Let's be honest about that. They're not nice people. Because every time I have to say majority of them, that tells you they're not nice. Why is it that you have to count the number of people that are actually nice? People that are actually kind, people that are actually good, people that are actually warm. Africans are not warm people. And I know it's not nice to hear. And majority, I'm a spiritual practitioner and I operate mostly in the space that has to do with narcissism. And I can tell you there are a whole lot of videos that I have come across here on YouTube where African people are talking about how that they've had to cut their families off because of this problem of narcissism. And majority of them are not even South Africans. They are people from up top Africa. Africans are not nice people. There are too many narcissists within the African race. And so now we are dealing with those type of people that have a certain distorted type of mindset. They are here now in Africa, in South Africa, because we have no borders, and they have turned our country upside down. We don't know where we are, whether we are coming or going. We don't know anything. And once it's not just Africans. I know there are other people from other parts of the world that are here. I know, but I just had to address Africans. Here we are. And all these people majority of them that are here, they don't have positive intentions for us. They don't. They are here for the plunder. And that plunder includes human beings, human trafficking. So, people will call us lazy as South Africans and, go ahead and take over the jobs, and the job market is a disaster because, people will be saying, I've had white employers even say, yeah, they prefer other people from other countries because South Africans, they are entitled and everything. But here's the thing. We are being triangulated here with foreign nationals. That's the narcissism that's coming from white people as well, and corporate people, and employers in general. That's that narcissism that is coming through because we are being triangulated here. We are being expected to accept far less than we deserve, simply because there are other people from other parts of the world that are willing to take half of what we are wanting. And then they call us lazy. They call us lazy because we are not prepared to work under a whole lot of conditions that a whole lot of other people are willing to work under. We are being abused. We are being misused. We are being gaslighted. And as a result, over 60% of South Africans are unemployed, youth. We've got foreign nationals occupying key positions in government, key positions in public services, key positions in society in general. Who do you think those people are going to bring closer to accessing those opportunities that are available within those sectors that they are occupying? Do you think they're going to be bringing South Africans here? Do you understand that these people move as a group? Everyone moves as a group here in South Africa except South Africans. We are under siege by various groups with a whole lot of different agendas. Each and every single one of them has their own agenda with regards to us as a race, with regards to our country, with regards to our resources. The other day, I was just watching a video circulating here on WhatsApp about some Coca-Cola truck that's busy going around giving people free drinks. And after those people drink those free drinks, they die. Because there was not Coca-Cola truck, and it was definitely not a truck from Coca-Cola company. I don't know how true that is, but that was a video that was busy circulating. Free drinks, everyone. Then shortly afterwards, guys, I'm sorry, someone has actually ended up having to go to hospital. People have died because they were busy drinking this thing. I don't even know how old it is, but this is what we are dealing with. How many children are dying from eating food that they're buying from certain shops? We don't know. We don't know what people's agendas are because we don't ask them, what do you want here? What are you here to do? We don't monitor to make sure that whatever it is that they said they are here to do, they do it. We don't monitor that. Why? Because borders are open and free for all. Anyone can just come and go as they please. So we are literally, it's like, can you imagine living in a house in the middle of nowhere? The house has no windows. The house has no doors. The house has no, fence surrounding it, or a yard or a wall, nothing. Maybe there's one or two of your cousins that, someone told them to take care of you. And then those people, instead of taking care of you, they take care of the people that come to your place, uninvited, unwelcomed, and with God knows whatever intention that they have. They work together, they help each other, to access properties, access things. They have access to so many things, these people. They even have access to SASA cards. SASA cards, these are what do you call these things in America, if some of you are from America. SASA cards, these are cards that enable you to get money from the government, to take care of your children, to get grants for those that are disabled, grants for people that are pensioners, you understand. So it's money that comes from the government that is typically supposed to be taking care of citizens. People from other parts of the world, they've got these cards. I mean, they've got everything. They've got so many things that we as South Africans struggle to get access to. South Africans, they pay medical aid so that they can get access to health, especially in times of emergency. Because if you're a South African, let's just face it, generally, if you are in South Africa and you have an emergency and you need to go to hospital and you don't have medical aid, you don't have health insurance, you are in trouble because you are likely going to die in the waiting room at the hospital or whatever waiting area, because there's usually hardly any, resources to be able to accommodate the level of emergencies that take place within the country, because there are just way too many people. So you have to pay medical aid, but at the same time, your tax, of course, is making sure that the public health services are always running. But who are those public health services taking care of? Foreign nationals. In majority of cases, you are dealing with at least a minimum 70% of the patients in the public health space. It's foreign nationals. So you as a South African are almost always either going to find that you are not able to receive the assistance that you need because the queue is too long. You're not going to get the medication that you need because the queue is too long. Things run out. By the time the nurses get to you, they are too tired. The infrastructure is worn out. It's all a disaster. We are not getting there. We are there. And we've been there for a while, especially where public health is concerned. A lot of local citizens flee public hospitals. They are afraid of public hospitals. I know I am. And it's precisely because of how bad the conditions of those spaces are, because of the overwhelm. And someone will say, no, it's the government's problem. It's not the people's fault. Oh, well. Okay, number 4. Okay, I've covered number 4. Number 5, the important government jobs and tenders. Okay. As I said, I don't know if I said it in this particular video or if I mentioned it in the previous video, that we are having a situation where when it comes to business opportunities, tenders, and a whole lot of things, when we are dealing with this situation where we've got some foreign nationals who are here legally, but how do we know that they're not working with their brothers and sisters who are not here legally? How do we know that? Because we're not tracking that. We're not stringent with regards to our immigration processes. You understand? So how do we know that there are not situations where people are getting tenders that are supposed to be going to South Africans? People are not getting jobs. I was just watching videos on, I think it's CISO TV or something like that here on YouTube. And I was seeing videos where, you've got people in parliament debating each other. And I forgot, I think it's somebody, Mr. Souls. I'll just say it's Mr. Souls. I forgot what his name is. But he was basically just challenging this other person who was in charge of some key position in some, key department within our country. He's not even South African. He's not even South African. He has a dual citizenship. He's actually Zimbabwean. And it's so unfortunate that we end up having to get to this point where we are having this kind of conversations. And then a lot of educational institutions, they are hiring these people as lecturers, as everything. Once again, because South Africans don't want to do things, South Africans are lazy. And all. Do you understand how many South Africans are qualified to do a whole lot of things here in South Africa, but they don't get those access to those opportunities? Because once a foreign national occupies a key position within an organization, whether it's a government institution or just a general corporate organization, do you understand that that person is going to make sure that they rally their own people from their own country to occupy those positions, and South Africans are literally left wanting. You go a lot of educational institutions now, you've got foreign nationals that are lecturers in the medical field. You've got a lot of foreign nationals that are doctors, while South Africans who are qualified doctors, medical professionals, they don't have, they're sitting at home. They don't have jobs because they're not willing to work, 24/7 on their feet and no rest, getting underpaid, taking care of thousands and thousands of illegal foreigners. Thankless jobs. People making key decisions for our country, but those people are not even people from our own country. That's why I'm saying we need to check out the South African Human Rights Council there, because I don't know, something is not make sure. Honestly, something is not make sure there, because and anyone and everyone that thinks that, South Africa belongs to all who live in it means that every single person, like literally 8 billion people across the world, everyone means 8 billion people from across the world. South Africa belongs to all of them. There's something wrong with you if you think that's what that statement means. There's really something wrong with you. So I'll say this is number 6. Big businesses and access to important retail spaces such as malls. Okay, so I've touched on this before as well to say, have you checked the malls lately? And it's not just lately as in now. As I said to you, this is not a new thing. It's been happening for a long time. There's no South African shops. If you find a South African shop in a mall, it's 1 or 2. And if you're talking about South African shops, you're talking about big, big stores, right? ShopRite, Pick n Pay, all these Ackermans and all of those things, Pep and what, I don't know. But when you're talking about, these shops that belong to typical citizens, people, normal people, just your everyday people, there's none. 1 or 2, maybe. The rest belong to who? People from other countries, people from other parts of the world. We are not about to get seized. We have already been seized. Businesses, spaza shops. There's a spaza shop monopoly. Do you understand that? Just try and open a spaza shop in a local store. You'll see what happens to you as a South African in your local area. Just try and open that spaza shop. See how invisible forces are just going to be moving to make sure that that store doesn't succeed. But other people from other parts of the world, for some funny reason, their stores succeed. There's little spaza stores. There are spaza shops. They will be there for years and years and years and years. As I said to you, people have been threatened, people have been shot at for trying to open shops next to people from other parts of the world. Those people who are not even supposed to be here. Those people who are not even allowed legally to have businesses here. And you know what South Africans do when they find those people? They just close their shops. Those people get to roam free and look for other places where they can start their businesses. Do you understand that you as a South African, if you were to be found doing these things in these people's own countries, do you understand that you would not live to tell the story of what it is that you got up to in those countries? We are too nice. I'm really, if there's anything that I don't want to say something that is just going to mess with my energies, but honestly, South African police, many of you are black people. Many of you are black people. Many of you come from humble beginnings and humble backgrounds. You cannot be defending foreign nationals against your own people. You cannot be doing that. You cannot be defending people that are destroying your own people. You cannot be defending predators against victims. And I'm not saying that every single person, I'm not saying that that old woman that is just trying to, from, another part of the world that is trying to access public health is a predator per se. No, I'm talking about the criminals, the hardcore criminals that you are busy protecting and defending. And unfortunately, as long as the border is wide as it is, as long as there's no law, there's actually, because there are laws, there's just lawlessness with regards to approaching this whole issue of immigration. As long as we are approaching the situation the way that we are approaching it, there's no controlling whether it's just that nice granny who's really just looking for help. There's no knowing that it's only her that's coming into the country, or it's a whole lot of group of people that are here to destroy us. What's going to happen if one day, all of a sudden, people are just busy exploding bombs all over the place? We don't know what kind of terrorists we have in our country. We don't know. So, hijacking of buildings, we've covered that. Problem of unemployment, we've covered that. 6, we've covered government jobs and tenders. Right. 7, I feel like I might have miscalculated my numbers here, but I'll just keep going with them as disorderly as they are. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points left after this one, then we'll be done. So we've covered big businesses as well. And then I'll call this 8. South African Police Services, I've covered that one. We know that our South African Police Service will not come to you when you need the help that you need. When there's an emergency, when there are issues, they're not going to attend to you. But when it comes to issues that have to do with foreign nationals, they will go running. Something is wrong. Do you understand that something is terribly wrong here? This is a nightmare that you definitely want to wake up from. Let's look at number 9. I know this is supposed to be 10 points. So somehow I miscalculated my points because I haven't I'm actually counting. I had already numbered them in a different way. And so, yeah, now the way that I'm counting them is differently. And as a result, everything is mishmashed. So we'll call this number 9. And then this is the prison population. Okay. So not only are we having a problem of, overwhelm with regards to public services and public resources, public institution, everything. Generally, we're just overwhelmed because there's just too many people here in the country. And let's face it, the budget is really meant for about 50 to 56 million people. And I've heard of stories that it's possible that our leaders could be receiving funds allegedly from, some global institutions with regards to taking care of foreign nationals. Because clearly there's a reason. There must be a reason why it is that this madness is being allowed. So some people, and particularly foreign nationals, are even saying that themselves, that there's money that this leadership is actually receiving. I don't know how true that is, but they're talking about it to say these people are actually receiving money to take care of foreign nationals. So my argument is, if that's the case, why don't you put them in some camp, some refugee camp or something like that, some foreign national camp or something along those lines? Then let them have their own things, set things up for them there with that money. Let them have their own budget that is allocated to them. Why is it that you are letting them have the children's food here at home? Because we don't see that in the budget. No one mentions anything about foreign aid for foreign nationals. There's no budget that is, we're not hearing about it, that budget that is being allocated for them and them being able to have those things. All we know is that the general, budget that is meant for the citizens is somehow supposed to be spread thinly between the citizens and foreign nationals. That's absolutely not fair. That's not fair at all. And then, so at the same time, we are being overwhelmed in that particular way. And then we are also having a situation, even with regards to the prison population, that even prisons themselves are, rife with people from other parts of the world. Because, prisons here in South Africa are nice. They are like hotels compared to prisons in other parts of Africa. 10, overwhelm of resources. Like if we were to be left to ourselves as Africans, do you understand how that South Africa would be like paradise for us? We would still have our own issues that we would need to address because we've got a lot of issues, our own internal issues that need to be addressed here. We've got a whole lot of those issues. If we were to be left to ourselves, we will get sufficient opportunity to really address those issues. But how can we address those issues when we are constantly overwhelmed the way that we are being overwhelmed now? Do you understand that as a Black South African woman who struggled for a long time, during apartheid and whatever, poverty and everything, and then even when apartheid ended, now you start working, you are fortunate enough to get some kind of a learnership that enables you to become a nurse, and then now you are, a nurse in a public hospital. Do you understand how traumatic it is for you as a Black South African woman to deal under the kind of conditions that these people are having to deal with? And it's not just women, it's men as well. Everyone that works in public services, especially public health. Do you understand? Because there, you're not just dealing with people and papers. You're dealing with people's, like, makaka. Do you understand? You are cleaning people's messes up. You are underpaid. You are overworked. Majority of these people, you don't even know who they are and where they come from. Meanwhile, your people, you are seeing them in the queue, busy dying there. Our resources are overwhelmed beyond measure. Police. I'm not a big fan of our South African police. I don't want to lie. And I understand very well that at the end of the day, the rot starts at the top. But they themselves are overwhelmed. There's not enough of them. They're not adequately trained. They don't have enough resources. Ramaphosa is talking to Trump about how that he wants Trump to donate to help us with resources to be able to tackle the level of crime that we are dealing with in our country. And I'm like, you don't have money to sort the country out with regards to crime and with regards to the borders, but you have money to spend hundreds of millions of rands, 700 million minimum, for commissions of inquiry, for debates and a whole lot of things like that. This is an upside down world. This is an upside down country where people who speak out, if you have nurses are afraid to speak out, people in the police are afraid to speak out. People are afraid to do the right thing here in South Africa. Because when you try to do the right thing, you lose your job, you lose your livelihood. You are treated like a criminal. But when you are a criminal that gets into this country illegally, you get protection. When you are a criminal that engages in corrupt activities, you've got protection. And our resources are overwhelmed. There's never enough resources to take care of anything, but our president has a whole lot of dollars in his own couch. Dollars, not rands, dollars in his own couch. Our presidents are rich. They've got assets overseas, in America and all over the place. But apparently there's not enough resources to take care of the country, to take care of crime, this is narcissism. You understand? Our leaders are narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths. That's what they are. That's what they are. They have no warmth in their hearts. They have no care whatsoever in their hearts for the people of South Africa. They are just interested in money. Their God is money. They're looking after their own pockets, and they could not be bothered about what's happening. I like that Mbeha Jeff I like that. You, as South Africans, are losing your heritage, religion, culture, majority status, and your homes. I'm a Namibian and I visit your country regularly. What I see is worrisome. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. Black Americans in America were busy saying Trump is racist, he hates black people, because let's face it, majority of people who commit crime out here and everything, it's it's black people, it's Africans. It's Africans. But when people start talking about it, it's like, especially if it's a white person, they will say you are racist and everything, until just recently they realized, there was this Essence Festival situation going on. And then all of a sudden, it's like Essence has turned into some mini Nigeria. They're busy cooking jollof rice there. And Black Americans are like, wait a minute, we are not Jollofians. We don't eat jollof rice. What's going on here? Why is it that Essence Festival is no longer capturing our culture as Black Americans anymore, but it's now espousing the culture that belongs to other people from other parts of the world? What's going on here? It has become something else. This is pretty much what has happened here to South Africa. Our identity as Black South Africans is gone because people from other parts, that's why I was saying we are too nice. We are very nice. We are loving. We are wonderful. We welcome everyone. They don't come here to assimilate. They don't come here to integrate as part of us. They come here to take over. They come with their own culture, their own everything. They don't try to become part of us. They come to dominate us. That's why they are even trying, some of them are even trying to open their own, parties, political parties. We are not going there. We are already there. I like it when I'm hearing this from fellow Africans, people who are honest. This is someone from Namibia. Honest Africans, few and far in between. Majority of them, they are just narcissists who are willing to attack people for speaking out for what is right and what is true. How on earth would you attack South Africans for complaining and for just getting upset about this mess that is taking place? People were saying Trump is a racist in America for speaking out against this immigration problem. Here we are Africans. We've been crying out about this thing for so long against our own fellow brothers and sisters, including our own leadership, starting with them. Black people are harassing us. And of course, Middle Eastern people. And others, everyone, because, it's open borders, open season. Okay, so I've got 2 final points and then I'll be out of here. I don't know where we are now. I'll say we are number 11, which is definitely not the correct number, but yeah, we're just going with it. Entitlement. See, that's the narcissism. Entitlement. Foreign nationals, when they come to South Africa, they don't come with humility. The only humility that you see is the willingness to be able to take half of what South Africans are willing to accept and willing to stay in the most, horrible of spaces ever that South Africans would not live under. But most South Africans live in really horrible places, horrible states. But foreign nationals are willing to do a lot of things and put themselves through a lot of, things that are just horrible because they know this is not where they are here to stay. This is not their homes. They go back home, they build mansions in their spaces, in their places where they come from. They build huge mansions. They do wonderful things for themselves. And my challenge to foreign nationals is, how is it that, and I don't know how you're going to do it because, clearly because of this criminal element, it's clear that the mindset is not okay. The mindset is not right. Because really what foreign nationals should be doing is fighting to restore their own countries. This is what they should be doing. This is the kind of work that foreign nationals should be doing with South Africans, fighting to restore order in their own countries. But instead, they're coming here, they're destroying everything, they're going back home. with things being as horrible as they are in their own places, because majority of them, they've got electricity problem, severe electricity problem in comparison to South African electricity problems. They've got water problems, severe water problems. They've got, a shortage of resources, a severe shortage of a whole lot of things. Instead of, looking into ways in which to address those serious problems, they are coming here, they are committing crime, they're destroying the last of the last men standing here in Africa. This is the narcissism that is rife here in the world, where you see that, okay, there's something that's still, functional, there's something that's still beautiful, there's something that is still, occupiable. Let's go and destroy it. Of all the things that you could do with it, I would rather destroy it, because my things here have fallen apart, my things here have been destroyed, things are broken here. I don't have a country, I don't have anything anymore, so let me just go and destroy that one. It's quite unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. The entitlement that I've seen come from, foreign nationals. Of course, once again, it's not all of them, but majority of them. It's appalling. You hear foreign nationals saying to South African police, F you, and saying to South Africans as well, F you. Haibo sisi uyadiga. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means, but it sounds like something negative. But well, yeah, people like that are people that you are probably dealing with people that have some mental health issues themselves. Because there's no way that anyone will look at what's happening in our country and think everything is okay. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that you will look at South Africa and think, no, everything is fine. Everything is perfect. Things are looking up. Things are on the up and up. Don't worry about anything. Leave everyone alone. Leave everything. Everything is fine. There's no way that you look at this country and think like that. So you are either a troll or you are just, a zombie of a human being. Okay. But there's serious entitlement where people believe, I saw a Nigerian man on a video fighting South African women, saying that, he deserves to access public health services. He deserves it. He has a right. He was ready to push that woman because he has a right. He's entitled to receive this and here's the thing: when these people go to public health, people like Dudula and March and March and Patriotic Alliance, when they go to public hospitals and they say, if you're not South Africans, you cannot access the services, they're not saying you cannot access healthcare in its entirety. They're saying go to a private clinic, just like how we would do if we were in your own country. Go to a private clinic, private hospital, go and get services there. I still say to the men that are willing to impregnate women, you impregnate a woman, you do it knowing that you have the resources to take care of that child, to pay for that private health care. You can't just impregnate a woman and then expect that woman to be taken care of by the government. But that's the problem that we are having. Black African men have this problem where, and once again, not all of them, but majority of them, they group, they know how to unite themselves. No one is as united as African men, more so than African women, unfortunately. African men, they are very united. They know how to gather, they know how to, um, organize themselves. But what is it that they do when they come together? What is it that they do? They are looking into ways as to how to manipulate and oppress Black women. In the African culture, it's okay. It's okay for men to be busy spreading their seed all over the world and not take responsibility. This is not something that is frowned upon. Whereas in other cultures, this is a serious problem. This is not something that is acceptable. The downfall of the African race is the African man. Lack of leadership. Lack of leadership among the African men. If African men were to truly rise and occupy their positions as leaders that they claim to be, because no one knows, no one talks, like every other race is very humble when it comes to their leadership position as a man. I don't know if you noticed that, but not so the African. Not so that no one knows. No one knows how entitled they are to their position of leadership and authority like a black man. And yet, no one is least qualified and capable to occupy the position of leadership like an African man. Tell me I'm wrong. And then explain to me, why is it that there are so many women out here who are having to raise children on their own? Where are those children's fathers? Where are the fathers? Why is it that some women find it better to be able to have to take care of their children on their own rather than having a monster of a father around? What's wrong with black men? What's wrong with African men? What's wrong with the African country? African men. African men. That's what's wrong with the African country. What's wrong with the African culture? African men. What's wrong with the African race? African men. Poor leadership. Failed leadership. No more blaming the white men. What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you fighting for your own race? I'm almost done. Last one. Hi, Andile. Abuse of the Constitution. This is the last one. Abuse of the Constitution. Okay, so the Constitution is being abused like nobody's business. The Constitution is being abused. This Constitution was established to take care of South Africans, but now it has been misconstrued to take care of everyone else except South Africans. Okay, this is all because of this immigration crisis that we are dealing with and our corrupt leaders. Men. I'm so proud. I'm really, really proud. And this is where you can see, the space, the gap that African men have left here where the African race is concerned. African women always step up. They always step up. They always, fill in the gap. And then the next thing you'll hear African men busy saying, you are too masculine, you African women, we don't like you because you are too masculine and whatever. But the question is, what choice are you leaving that woman? We've got women like, this Jacinta lady, Jacinta Zuma. We've got this Victoria Africa, and then we've got this Zandi Dubula, I think, Dabula, I think, yes, from Dudula, I think. So I'm proud of these ladies. I really am, because they are stepping up. They are doing things that I am really, really proud of them. I think that Nigerian man who was arguing his rights to access public health services was actually shouting at Victoria Africa. Victoria Africa was standing her ground from Patriotic Alliance, I think. I could be wrong, but I think she's from Patriotic Alliance. She was standing her ground saying, you're not going to come in here. This is for South Africans. But how bad is this situation where women have to now end up having to stand up for the country like this? Where are the men? Where are the men? South African men, where are you? Where are you? What are you doing? What is happening with you? So our constitution is being destroyed. Our country is being destroyed. Our race is being destroyed. I like what this gentleman said from Namibia. Our culture is being erased. We as a race, as a nation, is being erased. We are being removed. We are being replaced. This is what we are dealing with here. And if we don't do anything, by the time we really, start to, take whatever steps that we might need to take, it would be too late. Because as it is right now, we are not about to go there. We are already there. We are in a crisis mode. So we are either going to do something about this, or we are done. We are done away with. Next thing you know, we're going to be having a president here in this country, and they're not going to be a South African. As it is now, I think there are stories that even the one that is the president now is not 100% make sure. But very soon, we are going to find ourselves in a situation where we are dealing with forces that we have no means to be able to, turn them around. So we really, really need to act now. We really need to do something. If it means supporting, working with this Dudula people, working with March and March, working with the Patriotic Alliance and Action SA and whoever it is, whatever it is that we can do, whatever it is that you know how to do, please do something. Whatever it is that is within your means, within your power. If it means supporting financially or whatever, support the people that you need to support. Do something. Don't sit back. If it means just liking something, putting a like or just circulating videos or do something, do not sit back as a South African. You are losing, you have lost your country. You are not about to lose it. You have lost it. Do something so that things don't get even worse than they already are right now. South Africans are having to pay for private education because public schools are full. They are too full. And who is it that is taking up that space? People from other countries. Before we know it, everything is going to be taken over by someone else. There will be no place for us. We will be foreigners here in our very own country. A rainbow nation country that is meant to have 11 national languages, official languages. 11. So meaning we've got 11 groups of people that have so much to contribute to this country in culture, in heritage, in everything. All of that will be gone. We will be Jollofians. We will be, Sushians. We will be Briannians. We'll be Jamaicans and everything but South Africans. So please, South Africa, do something, whatever little bit that you can do. If it means praying, if it means meditating, if it means asking the higher powers, what exactly is it that you need to do it. But please do something. Don't stand back. We are far gone now. We cannot afford to allow things to continue any further than they've already gone. Thank you very much for your time. I just want to quickly check here to see if there's anything that anyone else is saying here that I need to respond to. If not, okay, I support you. You're against. Thank you very much, brother Mbeha Jeff. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lindiwe Mguni, thank you for joining us. TJ Mukwele, thank you. Mara TJ Mukwele, it sounds like you are the one that says Diadika, and that sounds like you're saying I'm lying. But if that's what you mean, then I have very little to say to you. Hi, Andy, I've already said that. Thank you so much for spending time with me here. I really enjoyed sharing this information with you. I hope you will be able to take the necessary steps that you need to. And I pray that all is well with you as you progress towards, helping and, contributing towards the well-being of our country and your very own family, your very own people, and your very own self. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye. I'm going to end this now. Let's see, how do we do that?